Hey guys, how you doing? How's everybody
Good.
doing?
Good.
Listen, just a quick thing before we get started. I know that the on our donation page, we still have the Geeks and Gamers logo. I just want to say that I really we talked about this, and we're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned, and I really just want to make that clear. And I also want to just say, in light of recent events, I think we really, if Justice League teaches us anything, it's about coming together, and there's no room for hate. And I just think that it's important. It's an important message. And of course, as the father of Asian children, it really hits close to home for me. And I just really want to put that out there that we all, there's no room for hate.
And this is why YouTubers need to learn a lesson. No good deed goes unpunished. Stop promoting mainstream products because you're going to get your channel hurt. Arch Warhammer learned about this the hard way. Tim Pool learned about this the hard way. And now Geeks and Gamers are learning this the hard way. So what ended up happening is that Geeks and Gamers were supporting Zack Snyder, and I understand they had even a charity stream for Zack Snyder, and then Zack Snyder denounced them. So here's why this is happening, because a lot of people don't seem to get the problem with it. If you're a YouTuber that has over 300,000 subscribers, like Geeks and Gamers does or Arch Warhammer does, you are actively competing with video game journalists from mainstream publications like IGN, Kotaku, Polygon. And these people, they don't like competition. Despite the fact that they talk about socialism day in and day out, they're very savvy business capitalists. And they don't like the fact that people have a choice to tune into YouTube and watch alternative viewpoints about movie reviews. And they want to crush this competition. Now, they can't just actively go after these channels because it would have no effect. But what they can do is the moment they see Geeks and Gamers try to promote Zack Snyder, they will phone someone from Zack Snyder's team and be like, hey, we're writing an article about like this fascist outright Nazi channel that's promoting you. Why are you affiliated with them? And then they will be like, oh my God, we just are planning to release a new movie. We don't want the bad publicity from IGN of all places. Or we don't want the bad publicity from Kotaku or from Polygon. So they will tell Zack Snyder, you need to denounce this. And Zack Snyder goes and it's like, oh yeah, we're not affiliated with these guys. Oh, and by the way, I don't stand for hate or anything like that. Like making the implication that this channel does stand for hate. You need to understand Hollywood is not a normal institution. It's a hive mind. It's like a cult. Like look at all of the actors and the directors. They all have the exact same stances on the exact same issues. Why? Because they need to if they want to work in the industry. Hollywood is like the military. You're not allowed to think for yourself. Like you need to actually find out what's acceptable and not only believe that, but like constantly say it like a mantra and promote it. Like, if I want to know what Zack Snyder thinks about that issue, I can just find out what any other actor thinks about the same issue. And it's going to be the exact same thing. Like, actors don't even disagree with any other anymore. It's bizarre. It's like an alien race that's a hive mind that descended and took over Hollywood, okay? So, they will just say the correct things. They're not like human beings that can have thoughts and opinions. No, like, this is what you need to believe about Geeks and Gamers, and they will say it. Now, here's the problem, okay? Normally, if IGN calls you a bad channel, no one cares, okay? Because it's just IGN. But when Zack Snyder does it, then you get articles like this that are going to flood the entire internet. Zack Snyder rips outright YouTube channel Geeks and Gamers. All right? Now, all of a sudden, it's an outright YouTube channel. A channel that has like 300,000 people. A channel that, as you can notice, talks only about movies and video games and stuff. Oh, it's now a Nazi channel, is it? Is this what Nazis do in 2021? They talk about video games and movies and Justice League. You know, if that's the case, let's assume that's the case. I don't believe that's the case, but let's assume that's the case. I think that's a good thing. Instead of them organizing on the streets and forming squads and whatnot. I would rather them sit at home and discuss about video games. I think that's less harmful. But we all know like Geeks and Gamers is not the Nazi channel. It's just like the way they're hitting this channel. And when this happens, you can end up with YouTube demonetizing your channel, like it happened to Count Dankula, because a BuzzFeed journalist called Dankula Far Right, his channel got demonetized. You can lose brand and sponsorship deals. And this is what you get. This is what you get if you actually are promoting mainstream things as a YouTuber. All right? It happened to Arch Warhammer. Arch Warhammer reached to Subverse, a company which is making a La Gente game. And he gave the developers an interview. All right? No one else wants to soil their reputation by giving an interview to some La Gente game developers. But like Arch did it. And what happened afterwards is that the people who don't like Arch, they used their connections to journalists from leftist publications who then contacted the developers, and the developers like put out a statement condemning Arch, and then all the journalists like used that statement in order to make articles attacking Arch. And that's what happens, you know, like this is why I don't take sponsorships. This is why I don't bother doing these things, because you open yourself to all avenues of attacks. It's one thing if some random Joe calls you a twat. It's a different thing when Coca-Cola official's PR statement is that you're a twat, because now it's newsworthy. See, if random Joe calls me a twat, the journalist can't write about it. It's like, who's this guy? Like some random guy on the internet called V a twat. But when Coca-Cola PR team calls me a twat, then it's like, oh, now it's newsworthy. Look, like this respectable corporation is calling V a twat. Surely they know what they're talking about. So apparently Zack Snyder Justice League has finally seen the light of the day. And, you know, like this is because of the fans. Like the fans have pushed for this to happen. And this is how Zack Snyder reacts to the fans. It's like, oh yeah, the fans are hateful bigots, implying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Geeks and Gamer has been a vocal part of Release the Snyder Cut crowd. Man, like, I wonder how Zack Snyder probably feels about this. Like, it must be so disgusting working at Hollywood, isn't it? Like, to be forced to disavow your fans. That, I don't know how he does it. I wouldn't be able to do it. But, you know, I guess that's why I'm not working in Hollywood. Zack Snyder does have more of a tough skin than I do. I know that on our donation page, we still have Geeks and Gamers logo. I just wanted to say we talk about this and we're really not associated with them. For those not familiar, they're the sort of YouTube channel that posts video with Fox News-esque toxic right-wing nerd titles like Lucasfilm keeps disrespecting Gina Carano and High Republic host doesn't like white people. And game journalists hate video games. Okay. Right-wingers exist. Yes. Right-wingers are customers as well. They have money and they're willing to buy a product. Not if you're going to mock them, they're not. But it's like this is exactly what I'm saying. Okay, you get these journalists that really hate their competition. And the reason Geeks and Gamers have 300,000 views is because they are right-wing. Like, people are fed up with left-wing narratives. It overflows the internet. It's just too much of it. It's just too freaking much. The market is oversaturated with progressive bias when it comes to video games, movies. Like, go on every website, on every forum. It's just overfilling the internet. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to have someone that pushes right-wing bias on the news, that's kind of rare. You don't really find that in a lot of places. So that's why they get 300,000 people watching. And, of course, publications like The Wrap, which I'm pretty sure they suffer because they're left-leaning and they're already in an oversaturated market. They're suffering and they're thinking, if Geeks and Gamers wouldn't exist, those 300,000 people would probably come to our website and give us clicks and give us ad revenue. I mean, look at this website. Look how many ads they got. Look, I'm being bombarded with ads everywhere. Why? Because they're desperate. They're hungry for cash. No one reads this garbage. Except the people in the comments, calling Geeks and Gamers outright. Like, this is why most websites don't have comment sections, by the way. You don't mention what kind of live stream it is. You know they're doing a live stream for charity suicide. Who the fuck cares? They're evil right-wingers, right? Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.